Happy Wednesday. It is June 3rd, 2026, and this is News Radio for South Texas, the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Also at Radio Para Mi, that's the free app. Say this again because you can go find us on your smartphone. Show producer Zach Cantu, and you heard that ding ding. That's meteorologist Jason Caterina. He's behind the scenes, going to sit tight for about 2-3 minutes. Yeah, we got some rain in Harlingen yesterday. That was impressive. Impressive amount as well. Any more of that in the forecast today? How about tomorrow? So join us, AccuWeather, in about 3 minutes on the Valley's Morning News. And speaking of weather and some impressive weather, we had late April and early May. Now we have Valley counties that are eligible for some federal disaster relief through the SBA, Small Business Administration. All this tied to those storms in late April and early May. So Governor Greg Abbott announcing that Cameron, Willacy, and Hidalgo counties, they've been added to a disaster declaration that was filed with the U.S. Small Business Administration. There is even a disaster loan outreach center that has been opened up in San Benito, and will be open weekdays during business hours. It's 7:07 on News Talk 710 KURV. Good morning to all my ag family tuning in here in South Texas. President Trump's Ag Secretary, again, sounding the alarm about a flesh-eating insect coming in from Mexico.
It's called the New World screwworm fly, and it can devastate cattle herds. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins says there's been a detection about 25 miles south of the Texas border with Mexico.
This is, of course, our closest confirmed detection to date.
She called this week's update a very serious threat to the livestock industry, and she blamed Mexico for allowing the insect to advance north, along with the cartel's smuggling of people and animals. In San Antonio, Michael Board, TSN News.
25 miles and counting. Texas added a new enzyme deficiency test this week to the required screening for babies, for newborns.
This latest test checks newborns for a deficiency in the enzyme GAMT. It's an extremely rare condition that can lead to severe neurological problems. According to the Department of State Health Services Chief Deputy Commissioner Imelda Garcia, early diagnosis and treatment can lead to improved health and development for children affected. Public health experts believe that screening all newborns in the U.S. will find about 7 babies a year with the deficiency. That's fewer than 1 in 100,000 babies born. In Austin, Chris Fox, TSN News.
One of the knocks on data centers concerns because people share information online. They're concerned that data centers use too much water. There's the report this morning from Microsoft, the CEO at Microsoft at a recent conference, saying that data centers, the new one that they have, will use no more water than a typical restaurant.
Speaking at Microsoft Build 2026, Nadella said the 315-acre facility, opened in 2025, will only use the same amount of water as a single restaurant would over the course of a year. The amount of water and electricity required to power AI data centers has been a focal point of protests against their construction in communities across the country. Nadella said the most important design criteria for a data center is getting permission from the community to build them. I'm Mark Mayfield.
It's 7:09. It is AccuWeather time, and we want to say thank you to Dougie and all the crew over at Martin Farm and Ranch. Hey, what's the big deal? That'd be 8 kinds of hey, Hay, over at Martin Farm and Ranch. And whatever you need for the farm and ranch, Martin Farm and Ranch, they got it. Say hi to Dougie if you stop by. AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina joining us. And we had some impressive rain, Mid-Valley, Harlingen area. So how much did we get? What happened?
Over 2.5 inches, 2.62. Yeah, Brownsville got over 6.5 tenths too.
Okay.
But yeah, 2.62 in Harlingen.
We need to look to the coast. Any shower activity might be coming from the east. Is that the scenario again today, or?
Yeah, it's we're working with that sea breeze again. So kind of that sea breeze boundary action where you get all the moisture coming in at the low levels. That in it the differential heating. There we go. The differential heating between where it's cloudy and not cloudy. Going to get all that convection brewing, and yeah, we'll see a similar setup for us today. A little better chance for some showers today and again on Friday than we'll have tomorrow at least.
Yes. it's okay if you don't have to use all the fancy schmancy meteorological like
Yeah, trying to.
differential meaning.
You know what? Yesterday we
Right.
were talking about that Gulf down in Mexico that I was talking. We are looking at the Pacific for tropical action, and I was
Yeah.
trying to remember the name of that. It's Tehuantepec. That's the one I
Oof.
was. The
Yeah.
Gulf of Tehuantepec.
I will congratulate you. Are the first one in 30 plus years that mentions Tehuantepec on the radio. Not even Bastardi got around to mention that years back when it was doing AccuWeather.
I did a lot of forecasting for yachts going up the West Coast, so
Okay.
the Tehuantepeckers were
Water.
something we had to watch out for. So
Don't say that again. So don't say it again. Let's see here. Tropics quiet. Gulf, Caribbean, Atlantic for a few more days. Nothing to report there. Texas travel. Anything you want to red flag today?
yeah,
Central
listen,
Texas?
chance for some heavier showers and storms up Houston and Dallas way here. More so tomorrow, but certainly an afternoon thunderstorm in a couple of spots today around Houston. But the big ones start to crank up tomorrow and into the weekend. And same story for Dallas. Maybe a thunderstorm in spots late this afternoon, but better chances as we head through the next couple of days there. So there certainly could be some delays with the travel.
Yes, sir. So highs today, AccuWeather from Jason Katarina, all the crew at AccuWeather. Highs will be should be low to mid 90s. And what would you peg the chance of rain today? Like 30, 40, or what? A little better than
30-40% today.
Okay.
A little lower tomorrow, and then it cranks back up Friday.
I was going to ask you. So if Mid Valley got the weight of it, Harlingen, a little bit of Brownsville too. So and if it's sea breeze or coming in from the east, what Mission, McAllen, Edinburgh, we don't see as much as Cameron County, or
Probably a lesser chance, yeah.
all right, and a better chance tomorrow. You said, right? You're still
No, Friday. The chances
better
slimmed
chance.
out a little tomorrow, and they'll ramp back up on Friday.
Here we go. Knowing the palate that you have, a palate of a 3-4-year-old, I would imagine egg is not on the menu for you, right? Because it's
I
too
don't mind
squishy.
when they're in things, but yeah, I'm not a big egg person outside
Not even
of
boiled. Yeah, it's too squishy, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's National Egg Day. That's why I asked. So, a ver, Zach, sunny side up
Those are
over easy.
huevos, right?
Yeah, huevos. Yeah, yeah.
Straight
Blanquilla.
from the egg. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Straight from the shell.
He does it Hulk Hogan style, raw, right out of the glass.
Or Rocky Balboa is drinking it out of the glass. Seriously, you drink it, Zach?
No, I do.
It's like, wow.
I got to run.
Cook the yolk, you lose the nutrients.
You do? Okay. Well, he would know because he's very health conscious, Zach. He's lost like 150 pounds. Well, not that
I'll
much.
talk to you guys next hour. I got to run.
It's closer to 60, but it
Well,
looks like 150.
I didn't carry the one on that one, so or I carried the one. Yeah,
I can fit through the door now.
yeah. All right, I know I got to let you go, pal. You got to talk to another station. That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Katarina on 710 KURV. Zach is looking great. He looks real healthy. He's lost a lot of weight. Are you still skipping a day, Zach? Like you don't eat a day and then you eat the next day? Is that what you're doing now?
It's once a week.
Yeah.
Once a week, I'll do a 48-hour fast, but it's still
Oh,
one
I
meal
see.
a day.
But see, protein, that's big on your menu, right? Meat, beef, chicken, egg too, right? You put some egg in what you eat?
Mostly beef and eggs. Mostly beef and eggs.
Yeah.
The only thing I got to watch is the calorie count, and I keep that pretty low.
Attaboy. Yeah, he's doing real, real good. That's good. Real good for you. All right. It's already 7:14 on the Valley's Morning News. I got to clear this segment. So up next, I'm going to share with you a conversation I had with the economist, a new friend of mine, David, from the folks at Concrete and Asphalt and Pipes and Aggregates. Kappa, the good folks that put all the slab out there and the foundations for businesses. One of their new economists with a second quarter eval of the local economy, looking at construction, employment, other major metrics. That's next on 710 KURV. Astros baseball on 710 KURV. This week they're hosting Pittsburgh. The 640 broadcast today from Houston. 640 broadcast made possible by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. One of the blessings of 2026, I made a new friend over at Concrete, Asphalt, Pipe, and Aggregates. Everybody, you guys in construction, you know who they are, CAPA. And economist David Martinez Longoria, my new friend. He's producing quarterly economic reports. So we got Q2 already. Like blinking out, really? Now we're well into Q2. Q3 will be here before you know it. So, David, welcome back to the program. And thank you to all the gang at CAPA for allowing him to stop by and talk to us today. Okay. We got Brownsville report, McAllen report, Mid-Valley, bridge numbers, unemployment. Let's start with the unemployment number, Q2, which is a lagging number. But again, tell me, let's start there with the unemployment number. Yeah.
Well, first of all, thank you,
Yes, sir.
for having us back.
Yes.
I mean, everyone at CAPA, we're really excited, to get the word out there, not about what's happening in the Valley, but, the economy. Economy drives construction. Construction drives progress, and the Valley's benefit, So thank you for having us back. And you were mentioning about unemployment. I guess we're all happy to see that specific stat is coming down. We last time we talked, I remember we economists have this rules of thumb. Anywhere if it's the lower the unemployment, the better, of course, right? Last data was 6.9, came down a little bit to 6.4. This is for the month of February, and let's remember, this data is published with a certain lag.
Yeah.
But employment going down means that jobs are being offered out there, acquisition power, and salaries are improvement. So there's demand for jobs out there.
Yeah. I must say, again, Freddie and I look at this unemployment number with a lot of fascination. For 30 some odd years of broadcasting here at KURV, the Rio Grande Valley, the Brownsville market, the McAllen market, we were always the leaders in Texas when it came to unemployment. And we are part of a network of radio stations and broadcasters, and they churn out a report like lowest unemployment in Texas, Houston, or the Dallas metro area. Highest unemployment, yes, embarrassingly, every report. Like back then, 30 years ago when I started, it was double digit, 20 some odd percent, 16%.
Wow.
Crazy, like the whole market.
Into
right?
double digits for
well into double digits. It took a long time to turn those numbers around, but we're still leaders. And the 2000s and the 2010s are still Brownsville, McAllen, highest unemployment in Texas. McAllen, Edinburgh, Mission area, they'd say like 9% or 10%, something. They'd say Brownsville market like 8, 9%. We fell off of that over the past couple of years. I don't remember. I would need to go dig to see, but we are no longer, and I don't think we will ever again, barring some political calamity and the Valley in Texas chasing industry away, we will never be there. Now it's West Texas. It's Odessa. It's Eagle Pass. There, I think the highest unemployment number in Texas is like 8 and change, 8.5.
Close
And
to
we are
the 10. Yeah.
We are far removed from that here in the
Yes.
Valley. It's a blessing to see, and of course, all this because of the economic transportation.
And we hope that it stays.
Yeah.
I mean, the fundamentals are
It
there.
should stay that way.
Again, progress, investment, new companies coming in, new industries, opening
Mhm.
all the way from the Port of Brownsville. We talked about that last time as well.
Yeah.
The international trade, a lot of things are establishing the fundamentals for unemployment to stay low.
David Martinez Longoria, economist, he is with CAPA. Those are the folks that lay down the concrete, the foundations, asphalt, pipe, aggregates. Yep, they're on the front lines of construction all across the region, here and in Mexico too, or just in Deep South Texas?
Just in
the area.
including Laredo as well.
Very good, all the way
Yes.
over to Laredo. I don't know how they get their job done over there since they don't have any running water or electricity in Laredo. No, I'm kidding. Okay, I love you, Laredo.
The
and we have-
topic for
yeah,
another
for another
interview.
day, absolutely. Of course, with all the industry arriving, construction all over the place. And going back to some of the recent, and thank you, by the way, for the the collection of the recent State of the City reports. McAllen showing back when they did their State of the City with Mayor Javi back in early February, it was well over $500 million in residential and commercial construction for McAllen. West Lacombe, capital projects, almost well over 50 of them, $13 million in new infrastructure investment. Brownsville, of course, is leading the way.
Sure.
All the industry, 215 million capital improvement plan for the area. They got the desal plant that's coming. From the port of Brownsville to SpaceX to LNG, $30+ billion in capital investment. This is private sector. This is the goose laying the golden egg, as I like to say.
Yeah.
This is where wealth is created. And of course, the wealth is created, the government, they scratch a little of the gold shavings off of that gold coin and pay for the programs around here. So this is true economic growth because it's private sector investment. For the latest quarter, construction. Let's look at some of the construction numbers for the area for the major
I just
cities.
want to mention
Yeah, go
that
ahead.
it was really interesting. Remember, I told you last time I was here at your studio, it's only been a couple of months that I been with CAPA, but it is always interesting from the economic aspect to see. I was welcomed in a way with all of these State of the City addresses by different cities. We talked about that. Edinburgh, McAllen, West Lacombe, Harlingen. And when you see, the commitment of the leadership in the different cities about not only promoting, consumption and even hospitality industry, but also to make the appropriate investments in infrastructure. That says a lot. I was just doing quick math, and everything that the different majors, all the way from Brownsville through McAllen, announced it in public works, public infrastructure, having to do. We're talking about drainage again, talking about construction, Kappa pipe right there. With all of those preparations for flash flooding, and I mean we're in the valley, so we need to prepare for that. It's over $1 billion of investment. If you add up all of those different projects going in from Brownsville all the way to McAllen, Harlingen, West Lacombe, and that's really interesting. Now, infrastructure in all aspects. We're not only talking about drainage, roads, pavement, parks, of course, and everything that's needed, but also it caught my attention. Private airports around the Rio Grande Valley, especially West Lacombe, has an interesting project of expanding their private airport facility. The same with Edinburgh. I mean, the stats are there, and it's really interesting to see that we're going to see an inflow not only of commercial air traffic, but also of private air traffic. So that means this business is coming in a more constant way to the RGV.
And in some of the news reports, we're blessed, in conversations we're blessed to have also from folks that are in charge of recruiting business, and also from the cities, various industrial parks in the area that need power, they need pipe, they need drainage, all that stuff. So that's part of laying the groundwork for that. So review for me some of the construction numbers that you saw. You were able to compile in the Q2 report. For
yeah,
some
sure.
of them.
Again, construction, talking about what leads, residential construction, for instance. In McAllen, we see, and this is a data shared by the major, construction jumped 40% to half $500 million in last year, 2025. This year, it's only expected to grow at least 10 to 15%. So we're going to be well into the $500 million in construction. This is private, this is residential housing, this is commercial, and that's just for the city of McAllen. We talked about this last time. Even though it's surrounded by other cities that need to grow, that are growing, of course, Mission, of course, Edinburgh, McAllen in itself it's still very dynamic in terms of growth, right? When we look at Brownsville, of course, everything that's happening in the port of Brownsville, everything that's happening at SpaceX is bringing residential permits to jump 40%. I mean, that's a huge number right there. How much residential construction is growing in Brownsville? It's interesting. 40% on 2025 year on year, and again, 2026 is only going to look better. So when we came out and saw the the pulse of the economy. That's actually the name of the report. When we saw the pulse of the economy on the second quarter of this year, it's almost like the Rio Grande Valley. It's doubling down on what right foot it started in Q1.
Which makes sense because of the thousands of jobs at the port. Whether it's Elon Musk, I know Elon's trying to house some of his people over there, but those numbers are being punched in for the county as well.
Beautiful houses, by the way. I've seen those
right over at the Elon's complex.
Right there. It's space.
Very California style,
Space City,
right?
Yeah.
Very California
beach
style.
houses, high end.
Yeah.
Really cutting edge. Yeah.
No, and then there's the like the restaurants and the stuff near the water, like a retail establishment that's out there as well. Okay, so Brownsville, 40% increase in residential permits, which makes sense because of the thousands of jobs now with LNG and everybody else working at the port that they need to stay somewhere. Those numbers expected to grow. As David said, McAllen Construction up 40%. Over $500 million. Edinburgh made the report. I see as well.
Edinburgh, incredible. We were fortunate enough to be invited to be there at the State of City address. Thank you, Sergio. By the way, you made the connection, and shout out to our friend Ronnie Larralde, a great friend that we made through you and your program. We were there, and we got to hear firsthand from the Mayor Ochoa about hundreds, literally, of new projects coming into Edinburgh, residential. And I think right now it's over 130 subdivisions that are either in progress, already started, or already underway. And it's a huge jump right there. It's compared to 2025, there were only 32 new subdivisions, and this year expected to be 127. So that's almost quadruple.
127 now compared to 32 last year. And a city, Edinburgh, that has room to grow. There's plenty of, just keep going north. Just keep going, right?
Yes.
All the way to reach the airport, I suppose. Right?
That's true.
And a quick mention, I know we're running out of time, quick mention for Louis, all the gang over at the Far Bridge. Still growing in business activity out there.
Yeah, sure. We have a jump in northbound truck crossings, and just recently I was looking into the dynamics of, Mexico. Also, I want to mention our friends at Rioplex. They've been working a lot. Right now, there's currently a mission of Rioplex officials throughout Mexico, just promoting our region. And the Far Bridge just benefits from that a lot. I was looking at that dynamic between two ports that are maybe brothers from a different mother. I'm talking about Lázaro Cárdenas, Michoacán, that once, those raw materials arrive there, through the Pacific Ocean, they are, either by rail, either by, commercial trucking, brought into the United States, mainly through the Far Bridge and Laredo, of course. But those goods, those raw materials may make it to Texas through that route.
Yeah, and part of what this crew from Rioplex, again, the Rioplex Economic Development, Rioplex Industry Recruitment effort by the private sector, our friend Joaquin Spamer, and all the gang, the
Mario
Reina, the president, the 24 plus ambassadors that are selling us. Part of the big push also on the ag side, which is very natural to us, the numbers will keep growing there because of the new facilities that Joaquin has that are logistics, refrigeration, hundreds of thousands of square feet that are bringing in like avocados and all that. So those numbers are just going to continue to grow at the Far Bridge because they're there at Far. Yes. I know on San Luis is going to kick in their new international bridge pretty soon, but the infrastructure for receiving all that is already at Far. Final thought before I let you go.
Well, we're just excited to be part of that. We talked about Rioplex. We talked about, the infrastructure investment that the different cities are doing throughout the valley. And CAPA is privileged to partner, with Rioplex. We are blessed to partner with the different cities, City of Edinburgh, City of McAllen, Far, of course, Harlingen, Brownsville, and to be part of everything that's happening. I mean, from one end to the other of the Rio Grande Valley to serve various industries, construction industries. As CAPA, we feel privileged to do that.
No, and the academic side, too. You got DHR, University of Houston, UTRGV, their new podiatry school coming up in Harlem. Oh, there's a lot of concrete you guys are going to have to put out there.
We just recently did a work for Texas A&M, a manufacturing facility there at the Port of Brownsville. I was there, and it's a huge state-of-the-art facility that's coming in
Yeah.
from Texas A&M.
Good to see you again, Dave. Thanks
Thank
for stopping
you,
by.
Sergio.
Looking forward to the Q3 report. That's economist David Martinez Longoria on behalf of Kappa. Those are the good folks over at Concrete, Asphalt, Pipe, and Aggregates. Kappa, thanks for the report.
Thank you.
All right, brother. Pulse of the 956. It's News Talk 710 KURV. Appreciate you tuning in on a regular basis. Join us at Radio Para Mi. Go get that free app, and that way you can listen to all this fascinating economic news, everything affecting your pocketbook, your bank account, and your kids' future. It's the 710 KURV on your station for Astros baseball. Check of sports next on 710 KURV. On the to-do list, of course, you're managing your career, managing your family, taking care of your babies, and also the parents, your parents you love so much. But every day they get just a little bit slower, and the strength just disappears bit by bit. I understand, and this is why I am so honored to speak on behalf of Healthcare Unlimited, HCU Healthcare Unlimited. Many years back, when I was blessed with the opportunity to honor my mom and dad and take care of them on a daily basis at their home. Yes, I was there in the mix, bringing lunch and checking up on dad and helping him transfer from bed to chair, from chair to toilet, and clean his booty. Well, Healthcare Unlimited, when I was too busy at work, they were part of that team that showed up and helped bathe my dad, bathe my mom, and do the manicure and put on socks. And you know how it is. You got to help mom and dad because they need help. My dad was really, really sick. And I'm forever thankful for the angels at Healthcare Unlimited. I say that, I'm not exaggerating. It takes a very special heart, a caring, loving heart to be a provider and a medical care provider, because they do that too, like the blood pressure and the blood check, sugar check, all that, make sure they take their medicines. You are not alone in taking care of your precious mom and dad at their house where they want to be, where they wish to be. The Lord called my dad home from his house. He was able to stay home. Don't get me wrong, he went to the hospital every now and then, but he was able to go to heaven at his house, in part because of the great work at Healthcare Unlimited, part of that team, helping me take care of my parents. Call Healthcare Unlimited. You're not alone. They can help you take care of mom and dad at 956-994-9911. You hungry? Ha, I got the solution. El Pato. You can order online, elpato.com. Those awesome breakfast tacos, those patos, as we call them. It's like your mom's recipe. It's your abuelita's recipe. It's like if you were blessed enough to be a Mexican, right? Mexican, American, Latino, Hispanic, whatever you want to call it, right? Living here in the valley or wherever it is, right? Maybe even in Mexico. You grow up and there's your mom or your abuelita slaving away or rolling the flour tortilla out, right? In the kitchen. You wake up to that divine scent, the essence of Mexican breakfast, huevitos mexicanos, or you got the scrambled egg with some bacon, the smell of bacon, the tortillas just by themselves, those tortillas off the skillet. That's El Pato, made fresh. So if you're hungry, take care of business. Go get you a bag full of breakfast tacos, the breakfast patos, egg and ham and bacon, chorizo, refried bean, cheese, potato, all your favorites. Yeah, your mouth watering thinking about it. Go get it. The big special right now at El Pato is the enchilada and fajita pato plate, which is the 2 chicken or cheese enchiladas. The yellow cheese is awesome. I love that yellow cheese at El Pato. Rice bean, the fajita taco, the pato, big fat fajita taco, and the drink, an amazing $9.99 for a limited time at every El Pato restaurant. Time is 37 minutes after the hour. The Valley's morning news on Newstalk 710 KURV. Just quick mention, Rangers won, Astros lost, and NHL Finals, the Vegas Golden Knights took game one of the finals over Carolina 5-4. AccuWeather says highs today should be low 90s and, low to mid 90s. And we do have about a 30% chance of rain, especially in Cameron County, Willacy County, anything coming up from the Gulf. You might see some rain later today. Better chance on Friday, says AccuWeather. And the border bridge wait times, last number I saw for the Hidalgo Bridge coming back from Mexico, close to an hour. And Veterans Bridge was at about 15 minutes. Business news and a check of your money. That's next on 710 KURV, the pulse of the 956. The top real estate company in the area is the Ryan and Bryan real estate team. You've ever asked yourself why some homes don't sell? Well, that's because they did not hire the Ryan and Bryan real estate team. It's that simple. My friend, and he is a dear friend and brother, I love this dude, Brian Reed, he and his team guarantees that the Ryan and Bryan real estate team will get the job done. That guarantee gave Gladys a lot of confidence when she called the Ryan and Bryan team to sell her home here in the Valley. She had tried a different agent. And this is a typical example. Gladys, because she did not call Brian Reed initially, her home stayed on the market for over 140 days. Well, in comes the Ryan and Bryan team. And Jessica, the agent at the Ryan and Bryan team, was able to give Gladys every assurance we're going to get the job done. We have a long list of potential buyers. We know how to do the marketing thing, very aggressive. Once the Ryan and Bryan team took over, it only took 13 days to sell Gladys's home. That could be you, amigo. So call the Ryan and Bryan team at 956-540-2536. The website, ryanandbryan.com. That's ryanandbryan.com. Business news of your morning on 710 KURV. Bitcoin fell under $70,000 this week, lowest level since early April. Seems that some in the industry have been selling Bitcoin to provide some real money, the money you can touch, the coins you can touch, to some of the shareholders in Bitcoin. And a new European Central Bank report says that gold, not U.S. debt, not U.S. treasuries. Gold is the top central bank reserve asset in Europe. AccuWeather says highs for today should be low to mid 90s. I got about a 30% chance of rain, especially Willacy County, Cameron County. Anyone close to the coast might see a bit more rain than we will see in the Mid Valley and Western Valley. Thank you for joining us on Newstalk 710 KURV. 30-second reset, and then we go back to Fox News for catch up with the world on the Valley's Morning News. The pulse of the 956 Newstalk 710 KURV. It is Wednesday, June 3rd. I'm Sergio Sanchez along with Zach Cantu, our show producer, and we have AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina pegging a 30% chance of rain for today. We got plenty of rain yesterday, 2.5 inches in Harlingen. And let's see how much we can squeeze out of the sky for today. News on 710 KURV, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH. A pleasantly surprising number for the Texas economy.
Construction is booming in Texas. That's not surprising, but Pia Arrhenius with the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas says it's not homes that are being built, it's data centers.
Last year, it was about $11 billion, or about 5.7% of total construction activity was just data centers.
Texas, number 2 in the nation when it comes to the building of new data centers. And with that, she says that energy prices have risen about 10%. That's still below the national average. In San Antonio, Michael Board, TSN News.
Valley travelers will have a new option at the big McAllen Airport. McAllen connecting to Phoenix, a new route this week with American Airlines. The state of Texas has added a new enzyme deficiency test to the required screening for babies, for newborns. Precious babies.
This latest test added checks newborns for a deficiency in the enzyme GAMT. It's an extremely rare condition that can lead to severe neurological problems. According to the Department of State Health Services Chief Deputy Commissioner Imelda Garcia, early diagnosis and treatment can lead to improved health and development for children affected. Public health experts believe that screening all newborns in the U.S. will find about 7 babies a year with the deficiency. That's fewer than 1 in 100,000 babies born. In Austin, Chris Fox, TSN News.
Here's this report from Stephen Pickering. The Texas Secretary of State, Jay Nelson, is leaving her gig. The Secretary of State in Texas. That's the person who runs the elections.
Jane Nelson was confirmed as Texas Secretary of State in 2023. She has served as the state's top elections official and been the state's top protocol official for visits by international dignitaries. The Secretary of State's office also handles business filings. Before she was appointed as Secretary of State, Nelson was a longtime state senator. Governor Greg Abbott says he is deeply grateful for her long and loyal service and outstanding leadership. Her final day in office will be Friday, July 17th. Stephen Pickering, TSN News.
Another local note, if you drive an electric vehicle, there's a report this morning saying someone is setting up the 16 supercharging stations at South Padre Island. And a report from Uber, the company on an annual basis provides a list of some of the stuff that Uber riders leave inside vehicles.
Riders didn't just leave behind the usual phones and wallets. They forgot their dentures, breast milk, an ankle monitor, a 75-gallon fish tank, a mini fridge, even an oxygen tank. The annual report also highlights a few trends. New York tops the list as the most forgetful city, and Sundays are when riders lose the most items, from live fish to wedding gowns and even 20 pounds of duck sausage. Uber says the list proves one thing: riders will forget anything. I'm Monica Nelson.
I'm sure somebody noticed they left the oxygen tank. I hope they noticed in time. I can't read. This is the Valley's Morning News on Newstalk 710 KURV. We invite you to join us at Radio Para Mi. It's a free app. Go get it. Listen to 710 KURV at Radio Para Mi. Amigo Power Equipment is the place to get the equipment that you need for the ranch, for the lease, to get all those projects in your head, make them a reality. Amigo Power Equipment for Kubota. It's Kubota Orange Days. This is, I've been talking about these specials for a couple of months now. This is the final month. Everything I'm going to mention here, a reminder on the financing and the potential savings you could see, available now to June 30th. Final month, final countdown. It's Kubota Orange Days at Amigo Power Equipment. And what you hear me say, you can get more information online at gokubota.com. Visit with JP and Jeff today. Celebrate Kubota Orange Days. Get the great deals on the versatile, reliable, the rugged equipment from Kubota. The zero-turn mowers, all the attachments to those awesome compact tractors from Kubota. 0% financing is available at Amigo Power Equipment. Again, if you qualify, 0% financing at Amigo Power Equipment for Kubota equipment. Or you could save up to $5,500 off. Select awesome Kubota compact tractors, the number one selling compact tractor in the nation. That's right, it's Kubota. And you'll get that Kubota compact tractor and all the necessary attachments at Amigo Power Equipment, Edinburgh on Monte Cristo. AccuWeather says highs for today should be low to mid 90s. Got about a 30% chance of rain near the coast. News on 710 KURV is a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH. There's a new medical report saying that weight loss drugs, the popular ones, Ozempic and Wegovy, they're seen as a potential to reduce breast cancer. Not official, but they do make the observation. They have seen a 30% decrease in breast cancer in a sizable group of women that were studied who were taking Wegovy and Ozempic. Microsoft CEO saying that their new data center in Wisconsin is an example of how data centers will use very little water. Their new data center that's over 350 miles big, 350 acres big, that new data center will use no more water than a simple family restaurant. And yes, national news from the left coast, from California, their mayor's race that's making all the news. It's Karen Bass, the incumbent mayor. Yeah, she goes into the next election. And we're getting word that Spencer Pratt, the Republican, will also be in that race come November. Border Bridge wait times, as posted on KURV.com. Actually, you need